Hello, everybody. This is Sci-Fi Junkie again on this lovely, wonderful Thursday afternoon. And normally I'd be streaming right about now, but since the PlayStation Network is kind of on the fritz, I decided to go ahead and make a video. Now, originally I was going to go ahead and cover the city of Wetumka's, the Wetumka's police chief getting fired and all the policemen leaving after that. But today, I might go ahead and cover that on a later video today, or maybe tomorrow. But today, I thought I'd go ahead and cover the fact that the city of Wetumka, the lovely, wonderful Board of Commissioners, city commissioners, really have disappointed me. Now, let me explain. As you guys very well know, I live in a low-income housing, the Wetumka Housing Authority, and in fact, I am their freelance IT guy, so I do freelance IT work for them. And I was told that they needed a commissioner, and me viewing it as a political position, I really didn't really want to do it all the previous times that there was an opening, but I figured, well, why not? Maybe if I was actually part of the Board of Commissioners, maybe this place will be a little bit better. I mean, granted, I would be most likely the youngest commissioner on the Board of Commissioners if I happen to get the position. And I still, believe it or not, I still, see it as a political position, not a civical or anything like that. So I went ahead and put together my letter of interest, trying to be very careful, very precise, include the fact that I've lived here for, 10 years, 10 plus years, something like that, that I participated in ROTC in high school, that I participated, or I was actually part of the Army National Guard for at least a year, because it took them that long to decide if I was actually up to snuff and everything before they decided to kick me out. Oh man, that evil PT test. But anyway, I digress. But I go ahead and make this letter. I make it very careful. I make it try to, as some people would say, sell myself, and I'm not a very good person to sell myself. So yeah, I feel like I did a pretty good job on this letter. I mean, granted, I don't write very much stuff anymore. I just got told today, well, actually I got told yesterday, that they have decided to table. Now, what was it? Yesterday was the 12th. They had the meeting on the 10th. The City Board of Commissioners had their meeting on the 10th because it's the second Monday. And then I asked for a agenda for my customer, which is the Wetumka Housing Authority, for their Board of Commissioners meeting on the on 11th, which is Tuesday. And then yesterday on Wednesday, I went ahead and delivered that, and found out that as I was delivering it, that they tabled, that the City Board of Commissioners here in Wetumka have decided to table the decision for the position that I have put a letter of interest in, together. Now, I'm the type of person that don't necessarily like to waste my time if I see a potential problem with something. For example, I haven't even bothered to go for the business that is up for a contest, because simply the contest rules are written like they are written for, with a first grader or third grader in mind. And the fact the website's a mess, The coding for the website is a mess. Coding for the website for the contest is a mess, even though it works a little bit faster. And so I didn't do that because I figured it's a waste of my time. Because hey, the way, if you read the rules, you'll understand why. And so I didn't bother. But for this, I went ahead and bothered to put a letter of interest for Board of Commissioners, City Board of Commissioners. As I said before, this is I see this as a political position, and so I only had planned on going in for one term, which is a 3-year term, because as far as I understand it, you go in for one term and then you get out and then you let somebody else go in. Well, the housing authority has not been following with that rule and just let people keep on going and going and going and going until they either decide to quit or they die or they just don't renew their term or renew to another term. So I figured, well, why not? And then I find out that they have tabled it. Okay, matter of fact, today I found out they tabled it because they didn't know any of the people that decided to apply for the position. So right now I feel like I've wasted a big chunk of my time trying to put this letter together for a position that is going to be appointed by old people. Not saying old people is bad or anything, but when you seem to see how the city's run now, you'll understand why I say it this way. This city right now, actually it's not even a city, it's a town, but the city of Wetumka as a whole is in a questionable state right now. Matter of fact, when I walked into the City Hall today to find out when the next City Council Board of Commissioners meeting was, they didn't know. They didn't know when it was going to be. In fact, they didn't even know if it was a public or private meeting. And then they suggested that I talk to the executive director, which is my customer when I'm doing IT work, and is also my I guess you could say also my landlord, since I'm in the housing authority. That's, in I don't know how else to say it, but the way I see it now, that this is a left-hand, right-hand situation when it comes to the city of Wetumka. It kind of makes me wonder if the people that actually made it in as commissioners and the mayor even know what they're doing, because when you get told that they don't know when the next meeting's going to be or if it's public or private, and on top of that, they are literally the only 2 people in the freaking city hall, kind of makes you wonder. It really does. It's like they don't expect people to want to make this lovely city better than it is, or actually in this case town, because everybody's deciding to run away from it. And I'm starting to realize why everybody wants to run away from the town of Wetumka. It is almost not worth living here. But it's quiet, minus the trains that happen to go through, because when we live close enough to the trains that we can hear them, but far enough away that we don't really get to see them. So it's not too bad. But to get told that they tabled the position that you're applying for because they don't know you is literally the most disappointing thing I've ever heard. Period. It's far worse than being told that you are overqualified, unqualified, or you don't have the work experience. Because I've been told all three. Literally, been told all three as soon as I got out of, got my associate's degree. So it's really worse than that. Now, with that being said, I do have a plan. I have a plan to go to the next city board of commissioners meeting once I find out what day it is. I've been told that they often, it's often the second Monday of the month. And so when I see a agenda of their meeting, I do plan on going and sorting this out. Because since they are unwilling or unable to want to know me or the other applicant, because right now it's just me and one other guy trying to apply for this position. I don't mind competition if there's competition. What I do mind is if they're not looking at either one of us because they don't know either one of us. That's what I do mind. And again, that is literally more disappointing than being told that you're underqualified, overqualified, or you don't have any work experience. Because they're not even looking at the lovely, I don't even know if they even looked at the letter I put together. And so, back to the plan. I do have a plan on going to the meeting once I find out the day and say, hey, I am one of the people that has been interested in the Board of Commissioners for the Wetumka Housing Authority, and since you are not willing or are unable to get to know me, I have decided to come here for my interview. I feel that's literally the only way that I will, the only way that I'll be able to get to know any of the commissioners, which the mayor is one of them, because for the simple fact that when I moved in here into Wetumka, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody in City Hall. I didn't even know the chief of police until he happened to go into the housing authority one day that I was there. That is literally the only way I know the police chief. My mother, she happens to know the police chief because of where he used to work before being a police chief. Yeah, he used to be a correctional officer. And from what I hear, the police chief was not very great at the Davis Correctional Facility, which is not called Davis Correctional Facility anymore. I think it's called, actually it might still be called. I don't really know. I know this company went from, it changed their name to like CivCorp now. So why they did that, I have no clue. Maybe they're hiding something, I guess. I don't know. But the point is, I didn't know anybody. I didn't even know any commissioners, the mayor, the city manager, nobody. And the way the city of Wetumka is, you don't know anybody. They don't broadcast what their position is. They don't let anybody know unless you're family, with them, or they feel like they have the same political view as you do, or you have the same political view as they do. Otherwise, you're a nobody. And they hit it very well until now. Matter of fact, when I got the paper, I got pretty good pictures of the picture that shows the commissioners. There's 5. So I got a pretty good view of what the city commissioners look like. and they are unwilling or unable to decide to get close to or get to know the people they serve. Which I guess is the real reason why I know that I can't really stay in politics for very long, because for the simple fact that I'd be more willing to get to know the people I serve. Matter of fact, I'll probably be the only one here in the housing authority that'll be willing to go door to door once I figure out which one is the, because there's another city commissioner, or there is another commissioner here in housing authority that's part of the board for Wetumka Housing Authority. I would even get to know her better, because that's what people in political office need to do. They need to get to know the people they serve. They can't just sit in a freaking office and just lollygag around, because they're not getting to know the people. They're not getting to know the problems of what's going on. They're just sitting in an office and that's it. So, if anybody in the city, Wetumka City Board of Commissioners wants to get to know me, that's fine. I'm right here on the letter of interest. My address is there. All 5 of you can come. You can come by one, or you could, or we could actually go to Kettle Kickers or somewhere, have a little interview back and forth. I mean, it's not like I have not dealt with a firing squad when it comes to interview. I mean, I've dealt with a couple of them when I went to the Air Force ROTC in high school. Pretty much, it was a 1 day a week thing for me to be getting in front of a firing squad for questions and presentations. So I mean, it's no big deal. Now, I'm sure they're probably not going to find this, video, but if you do, I mean, there you go. I presented myself in a way that I the best way I can in a video, because I don't normally like to make rambling videos. I don't normally like to make really, really long rambling videos. But the fact that I'm here in the housing authority unit, you already have my address, and you're unwilling to get to know me by sending me a letter, shooting me a letter. See, I don't even know which commissioner is part of that's part of this side of Oklahoma or Wetumka. All I know is that there's one commissioner that covers the entire town of Wetumka on the county side of life, and I know where his office is at. But for everybody else, I have no clue, and it's rather disappointing. And I find it more than disappointing. But disappointing is, the best I can come up with by wording it. I also, right now, see the leadership of the city board of commissioners to be rather questionable, and the fact that nobody knows anything. They're all willing to break their own laws, and a number of other things kind of reminds me of why I really hate governmental offices. So until next time, or whenever, don't have too much fun.